Many of us face symptoms that seem like a mystery, but what if our bodies are trying to tell us something deeper? Recently, I visited with my doctor about something that has still plagued me, that I still didn't have answers to. Not exactly anyway. Suspicions, questions, clues, but not answers. I received a diagnosis of rosacea, which is why I'm showing up on camera with no makeup, because I want you to be able to see how trauma can affect you physically, how it can come out in ways that then require medical treatment or require the help of a licensed therapist. For me, rosacea is a mixed bag. An answer that makes sense, that's less severe than I thought it would be, but it once again brings to the table this question of mind and body. You see, usually I talk about my experience at Mayo Clinic, the years I spent battling seizures and my stomach being paralyzed. And I talk about these things because they are so extreme. This diagnosis is not extreme. It's every day. It happens to a lot of people. There aren't really definitive answers on where it comes from or why it comes from there. I knew where mine came from. I've built an awareness around my mind-body connection enough that I had some clues, but it took finding the right doctor with the right bit of information for those clues to kind of come together. You see, my body, just like yours, doesn't act up randomly, but in fact, everything that we experience is a clue for something else. This rosacea for me is a clue about the levels of inflammation in my body and about my own sympathetic mode or fight or flight mode. And it gives me a clue where healing is possible, physical healing and mental health healing. When I was at Mayo Clinic, I asked one of their psychiatrists, is it mental health or medical health? And I sat there staring at her expectantly, thinking that she would have some percentage for me. She could explain, oh, it's this or it's that. And she said, that is the wrong question. She didn't say it this way. She was much kinder than that, but it was the wrong perspective. She said, we need to heal both. We need to look at both. And when we start to take care of both, then we see what's left behind. You see, when we look at both, that's when healing really begins to happen. Because our nervous system is what tells us how to be safe. When we go into fight or flight, we stop doing anything that's not necessary for survival in that moment. So our digestion, all kinds of things become non-important, non-essential, and they're sort of shut down for a minute. That doesn't mean you can't eat anything, but it does mean the process is, I would use the word impaired, slowed, or shut down. When you come out of fight or flight, that's called parasympathetic or rest and digest. So when you go into fight or flight, your body produces chemicals. Your brain says, okay, we've got to either fight or we've got to run away. And so it creates these chemicals that give you energy and mental clarity and shuts down these processes and heightens these ones. But when that happens frequently, that's when we start to get in this loop and we start to have medical conditions like my rosacea. In truth, the studies that I have found related to this diagnosis and the chemicals, the neurochemicals, are some of the things that I have because of the trauma that I've been through. It creates this cycle of this traumatic experience, creates this physical output, which creates this emotional experience, which creates this physical output. My time at Mayo Clinic was very liberating for me. I used to call Mayo Clinic Disneyland for sick people. And everyone that worked there was so nice. And it just felt like the happiest place on earth, but for sick people. But my healing journey really began when I started to learn words like holistic, mind-body, integrative, and things like that, because I learned that the different parts of my health weren't separate. All the parts of you, all the parts of me are always together. They're much like how a piece of material is woven with different threads. They're not separate anymore. They're together. Your body is incredibly wise. And everything that you experience in this life, your brain brings it in, interprets it, and decides what to do with it. So everything that you see physically, everything that you feel mentally, emotionally, all of those, your thoughts, your feelings, all of those are clues that can actually lead you to healing. So while rosacea might be embarrassing for me, it's actually extremely liberating, because it is a stepping stone to a path for healing for me. In truth, you're not alone on this journey. By acknowledging how all of these pieces fit together, you're actually creating a perfect environment for healing. I'll see you in the next video.